Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and today is lecture number 10th and today we'll be talking about again Langgraph. So in the last lecture guide I started Langgraph 2 lectures back and we're going little slow and guys trust me. Uh, Anyone who's teaching you Langgraph probably can say just copy this, copy paste that, it's how it's working. I'm gonna not do that. We're gonna break down every step. We're gonna bring out our own applications. We're gonna really like set up a layer so that you could scale with Langgraph or for that matter any framework in future as well. So let's get started for today's lecture. So guys, what we are coding up today is a Wikipedia agent. So we are coding a Wikipedia agent. So what is going to be happening is that user is first of all going to give you a query. Okay, that query would be converted into a keyword. Once it is converted into a keyword, it would be sent to Wikipedia. So for Wikipedia, we'll be using Wikipedia tool that has been given to us by LangChain. Now once it's been sent to Wikipedia, the next thing that's going to happen is that we'll get an output. Now this output would be sent to an LLM for what? For summarization. And post that you will have a final AI message. Final AI message. So that's the workflow guys. Okay, now very important thing that what I'm trying to discuss in this lecture is from this application is chain. So guys, exactly like in most organization, whenever currently you'll be deploying agents, there's a large amount of chance that they would be sequential in nature. That means you would want them to follow a step of action. Okay, so that why do we need it to follow step of actions guys? Because that's what usually planning is, right? If you have a big task, it's not that all that could be just done in one shot, right? You're going to break down it into multiple components and then probably like once A is done, then you're going to move to B, then C, then D, and in whole sum your entire task would get completed. And guys, now there is enough evidence that agentic applications in the terms of things such as chain of thought, in the things such as creating a tree. It's just that the moment you're giving it more time to think, more time to analyze, breaking down the problem statement into multiple sections, and having a very clear cut interface which user can also see that what's happening behind the hood in terms of reasoning, that exactly is giving you more accuracy than a simple LLM call. So this is the main thing guys. We need to create systems which are more reliable, and for that thing I think for creating systems which are more reliable, chaining and sequential processing of data is something that's going to be at the heart of it. So let's just see the code. And guys, see, code wise it's very similar to what we did last time. As I said, what we did last time is going to be the heart of LangChain, and we're going to keep on just changing that code only. So let's just move on today. So this is the lecture 10 notebook. Let me just see if I could just connect the mouse and probably rename it to practice to production. Yeah, sorry. So let's just maybe rename it to lecture 10. Lecture 10 day 3. Okay. So let's just try to see what we are doing over here. So guys, I'm going to break it down into multiple steps. So the step 1 is just setting up the LLM. So from OS we are doing loading our environment variables which is stored over here, and then we are setting it up. Then we are using LangChain Google generative AI and setting up a normal Gemini Flash model. Okay, So guys, this is very basic code, nothing. We've been doing this in all our lectures. Okay, so this is done, no comments on there. Now let's just move forward and try to understand another important step. Now guys, this step, last time I explained you this step, right? That what exactly is happening in here. Still let me spend some time. So guys, understand, we are creating a class state which is inheriting type dict. Okay, now this has an argument that is messages annotated list. So guys, in simple terms, this is the data type that I'm using for messages. What is that? It is list, guys. I want my messages to be list. And what is this add message? So add message is a functionality that's going to keep on adding messages to my list, right? So we do dot append method, right? So we need a method such that everything gets appended to a list rather than overwriting it. So this is more like an abstract representation of what I just said. So guys, this is how it's happening. This is how LangChain does it. Still, let me just take you to the board for 1 minute and I'll make you understand quickly. So guys, see, the first step is we have set up the LLM. So we have set up the LLM. We have set up the LLM. Now the next step is, guys, defining the state. So guys, state is something important because that's going to be mostly your input schema or the main schema that would be used all the time in your application. So the first thing that we need to figure out is that we are using messages. So what is the data type of it? It's list. And why we are using list, guys? Because we want to have append functionality. So what does append functionality means? Just adding out stuff to the list. So if you have a list, right, 1 2 3, and someone is writing a dot append 4, so what would your list be? So same way, guys, messages are also getting appended. So you need some system, right, that could keep track of all the stuff that's happening. So that's pretty much it. So you usually start by defining the state. Now let's just move to the third step. What is the third step? Now guys, third step is quite like important but quite simple as well, because this doesn't require any abstract level of representation. This just requires basic coding. So guys, see, we are importing the Wikipedia tool from LangChain. We are importing Wikipedia API wrapper from LangChain, and then we are just trying to create the tool. So for the time being, just skip heavily, and we are defining a simple Wikipedia tool. So it's going to go to Wikipedia and search for a query. It's going to take it, it's going to have an output that would be of these many characters, and we're going to run it. That's simple, guys. So the next step that you would be doing is creating nodes. Okay, creating nodes. So what are nodes? Nodes are nothing, guys. These are just Python functions. Okay, and these are the main components which do your work. That's pretty much it, guys. There is no fancy definition of nodes. That's it. You just have to write Python function. And now we are just writing a simple Python function which is going to be using this Wikipedia API wrapper and just calling it. So you're able to see how simple it is. Now what we are doing, we are creating a LLM with Wikipedia. So we are binding our LLM with tool. So guys, you would be knowing this. This is what we have been doing in all our lectures. So we have an LLM and we are just binding it to the tool. Okay, so that the LLM can communicate, use it. It can just use these tools. Okay, simple, no magic out there. Now guys, the next thing is system message. I've been explaining you, right? We need to set up system messages for our application. So we have set up a simple message. You are a helpful assistant that breaks down query. So let's just correct this. It breaks down query into a keyword and searches Wikipedia for the keyword. Let's just try to run it. I think it got disconnected. Not sure whether it would run. I think we should run the application from start only. Yeah. So 1 2 3. So guys, it's a simple node that we are creating, nothing but just a Python function that's gonna just use Wikipedia API wrapper that's given by LangChain. No difficult stuff, just using what's given to us. And then guys, here are we defining our node. So see, what are we defining? Just read Wikipedia state. So state is of the class that we have defined above. That data type is going to be being used over here. Messages LLM with Wikipedia tool dot invoke system message Wikipedia plus state messages. Okay, now tell me guys, I've talked about this a lot as well, but still let's just spend some time and try to understand that what is exactly happening. Let's just move back to the board. So see guys, we have binded our LLM. Now we are just creating a simple LLM which is going to use dot invoke method on two things. So dot invoke, it's on two things. So what are those two things? One is the system message, okay, and another is a combination of system message plus user message, which is quite common, right? No magic out there. So that's what is exactly happening, guys. We're just defining a node. Node is nothing, a Python function. What is that Python function is going to do? Any Python function does some work. So that's probably how it works. Now guys, simply the same thing. I'm defining another node. I'm trying to create a system that's going to just help me summarize the content that's given to you. Simple guys, llm.invoke system message plus state messages. So once you see the graph, right, everything would get clear. So let's just try to see the graph over here. So now see what have we built. We'll see the code little later. First let's see the graph. So we have a starting point. So we have a Wikipedia tool calling LLM. So we have an LLM that has the capability to call the Wikipedia tool, and we are forcing it to call the wiki tools because we are trying to create a research agent, right? So we want it to have an access to Wikipedia tool and call it. So it's gonna just call the Wikipedia tool, then that information is going to be passed to summarize LLM. What is summarize LLM doing? Summarize LLM is, guys, you're a helpful assistant that summarizes content for you. I think you can understand, right? And in everywhere, guys, I've used the same state which I created in the class. Every state is of the same data type state. Okay, now guys, see graph builder dot add node. So firstly we are defining our starting point. As I've been saying, the first step is define state, then we are adding nodes. Okay, so the steps in creating any graphs are like you need to add nodes. So the first node that we are adding is Wikipedia tool calling LLM, Wikipedia LLM. So guys, this is the LLM that is binded. See, Wikipedia LLM, this is the LLM which has the capability to call our Wikipedia tool. See, LLM with Wikipedia tool, LLM with Wikipedia tool dot invoke in this. So this is the first step. We are defining an LLM which has the ability to call Wikipedia tool. The next thing is we are defining a tool node. So we are defining the Wikipedia tool. So it's this Wikipedia tool. So what is the Wikipedia tool? See, Wikipedia tool is this, goes to Wikipedia and searches for a query. Simple, just a calling of an API wrapper. And we are forcing it to do it. So that, I mean, the forcing part would come a little later, but you're able to understand. We've created a tool node, and tool node is in like a base thing only. We just need to import it and use it. Then guys, I'm creating one more LLM that's going to summarize information for me. Then guys, I'm just adding edges. So what are edges? Edges are the stuff that connects node. Okay, what are nodes are Python function that do some task for you. So start is connected to Wikipedia tool calling LLM. The Wikipedia tool calling LLM is connected to wiki tool. That means whatever is going to happen, it's going to call this tool, and then the output is going to go to the summarized tool, and then it's going to end. So guys, tell me, is this difficult? This is not difficult, but probably understanding the whole orchestration and more is a little difficult. So start by defining state. Okay, then make sure you define your nodes and your LLMs. Okay, the third thing is create graph. So whenever you're creating graph, start by adding nodes. What are nodes? Nodes are nothing, guys. These are just Python functions. These are Python functions that gonna do task for you. And once you added nodes, the next step is connect those nodes. Connect nodes. How you're gonna connect them? With edges. Okay, so we are connecting that, and that's pretty much it, guys. The best way, the trick that I'm going to tell you is how to work with Langgraph is go to their documentation and try to look for a use case that you want to implement. Probably they'll have something that you're going to implement or something similar that you're going to implement. Then take the code and then try to edit it. This is the only way, guys, you can learn. Trust me, there is no other way. Coding it from scratch would, I'm not sure, last was when the time you coded something from scratch. So this is how it's going to work. And yes, Langgraph is relatively new as well. But they have a good documentation altogether. They are doing good efforts, because there's a lot of people are a little confused because of the little abstract representation of things. So that's probably okay. But the main thing is that if your task is getting done right, you need to just, like, we are creating a Wikipedia agent, right? Now you can take my notebook and just build on top of it whatever agent which you want to call in sequence. You can just mention it. You just need to add nodes and edges. You just need to define what stuff needs to be done in Python function here, and just scale the application up. That's pretty much it. And now guys, let's just sort of use it. So let's say we are doing a query, like what is like an Indian food, right? A simple query on Indian food. So now this is going to go to Wikipedia. It's going to get information from there, and then an LLM is going to summarize it. Let's just see the results. So yeah, and also if you want to see the plot and everything on a big screen, you can just click here, right? So expand image, you will be able to, like, okay, let's just try to delete this. Let's just try to delete this. Yeah, so simply you're able to see it on a big screen as well, that okay, you're going to starting point Wikipedia tool calling LLM, it's going to call Wikipedia tool, then it's going to summarize, and then it's going to end. Now you could also see the results that we had. So let's just try to run it and see. So see, so it has summarized, right? Indian cuisine is incredibly diverse, wearing stuff, and you're able to see it was able to call the Wikipedia tool because I told it to do. So guys, this is simple. This is not very difficult, but try to take this code and try to build out agents in your organization, or whatever agentic application you want to build. And this is a good starting point, a very good starting point, because in industry mostly guys, you don't always 99% times don't implement fancy things. It's the basic things that you do. And in simple terms, just try to remember the flow. Start with the proper state, define nodes. Nodes are nothing but Python function, and just define your LLMs also over here, and just connect nodes with edges, and then make sure you create a graph and run it. Now this is what we'll do every time, but just try to remember it, the trick. Look for the accurate documentation or similar documentation and try to edit it, guys. This is the only way you can efficiently work with Langgraph. And obviously most of the things will be covered over here only, so don't worry. And guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a great day.